So Emma, now that you're going back on tour, which you're going to play singles too, or just doubles?
I mean, doubles for sure.
It's going to be your focus, right?
Yeah, I'll see how I feel physically, and then I will, if I'm at the tournament and I have an opportunity to play singles too, I might as well play it since I'm
But you're going to play a full schedule the whole year?
I have to come up with a calendar. My plan was to train at least like 2 months, like hardcore.
Yeah.
See how I feel, how my body handles it. And I'm starting to look at the tournaments, trying to figure out the schedule and the calendar. And I was thinking about starting maybe July, August.
Okay.
And then going from there.
So you're giving yourself a lot of buffer room to get in shape and then,
I don't want
start
to
in
just
August.
go and play.
Yeah,
I want
that's
to
smart.
feel good. I want to feel confident. Like mentally, I'm good.
Okay.
Physically, I really need to get stronger. I mean,
Right.
I might look fit, but on the court, I really have to.
You need to get
work.
a little bit faster,
And
yeah.
then I would like to clean up my technique, because 6 years of just coaching and just kind of like hitting the ball back, I haven't been really working on my strokes, and
Absolutely.
I know there is a lot to the small things to fix, and then to focus on that, and then if I combine it all, I think it's going to be a great package.
Yeah, the teaching can really mess up your strokes, can put some kinks in there, You start pushing the ball more and you stop trusting your shots. Out of all those shots, like what's the shot that you feel the least comfortable with right now?
Definitely serves.
The serves. Because you probably
I haven't been,
serving at all, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
I mean, I would come and I would probably in practice it would look fine, like I can make the serves and I'm
Yeah.
relaxed, but going into a match probably like getting more tight.
Probably.
Is that second serve
The second serve,
especially?
yeah.
Then I think everything.
Everything?
Forehand,
backhand,
volleys,
volleys.
slice,
Everything.
all of them.
Okay. All right. Let's just go through your whole game and we'll take it one step at a
One
time.
thing-
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Just go ahead. Hit back to me in the baseline.
Okay.
Now, one thing I want to ask you: do you when we're training? Do you want to focus on double specific training or do you want to focus on single specific training?
I don't want to focus on double specific because
So you
I
want
might play
to
singles.
you might play
as well.
singles. So singles.
Singles
And-
for now, and then probably before tournaments, maybe
That
more
translates
specifics.
that translates really well into WTA doubles anyway, right?
Yeah.
Singles, because they play more on the baseline, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Good. Okay. Okay. I know you told me that you're not happy with your forehand, but I don't really see any technical deficiencies on your forehand. And when I'm rallying with you, when I'm observing you, you make very little mistakes with the forehand. The only time you do spray it a little bit if you get like one of those high ones half court. Maybe just because you haven't practiced them that much. But from the baseline, you're very consistent. However, I do see more mistakes on the two-handed backhand. Like you do have a lot less spin on that side and you do miss long and into the net more compared to your forehand. I always felt that like your finish is a little bit shallow here. It's very dominant with the left side. So if you can try to equalize both sides and use the right side of the body a little bit more and finish a little bit higher here, let's try that and see what happens.
Okay.
Because you often, when you slow-mo your two-handed backhand, this elbow is very close to the body very often, which is okay if you're playing a higher ball, no problem. But when the ball is like between the waist and somewhere around your mid-torso, this is where this backhand is suboptimal because you don't get the same amount of range of motion. It would be beneficial to go a little bit more here, and you might be able to get a little bit more torso rotation as well. So let's try that, okay? Here's the crazy thing though. Even though you hit it like that, the ball still catapults off the racket, and I do think you have more power on your backhand compared to your forehand.
Really?
But you don't think so?
Sometimes when I hit
Like
it
the
really
ball
hard, yeah.
come, maybe because it's more,
Because it's like so flat.
it's flatter than the forehand.
Yeah.
So this is the crazy thing, that if you can make it a little bit better, it could be a really incredible weapon.
Yeah, but I just wanted to ask you about my forehand.
Go ahead.
The one thing that I would like to work on when I see myself in
Yeah.
the videos, this here. Instead of doing it too much.
Yeah.
So like here, go more out here and shortening up. That's what I would like to work on.
So you think you go too far behind the body like this? That part, or
No, that I go
you
up
think it's too
much.
high? You can shorten that. Yeah. You can play around with
What
it.
are the benefits of that, shortening that? Because, you know, like, yeah, like obviously it's gonna take less time. I'll be in the bed. Because I don't know, when I see the girls now, like they're mostly like Raducanu's forehand. And
Yeah.
plus I was at Miami Open watching. They're all like,
There's a lot of
here.
them now that even
not doing this.
Fernandez, you know, her. There's Kazaktina. There's a lot of them now who play more, let's call it like ATP style forehand. It's more now. However, there's still a lot of the old school forehands there too, you know?
Yeah.
So the thing with your forehand is that I'm suspecting, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that nobody taught you to go like this, correct? Nobody said, hey, Emma, I want you on the forehand to put your racket back here. This is something that happened by itself, right? So it's just a natural thing that happened to your forehand based on your genetics. And also, nobody probably taught you to go here either, that high. This is something that just kind of, yeah, this kind of developed on its own. So these are important factors to consider because that's what comes most natural to you because you develop it completely on its own. Probably not even conscious of it, okay? Now here's the big question. Do you feel like you have timing issues on your forehand? Do you feel like the forehand is compromised in any way because you have a little bit longer preparation?
Sometimes.
You do feel that?
Sometimes on higher, deeper balls.
On higher, deeper balls?
And even faster, deeper balls.
Okay. How about your forehand return? Do you think that's a weakness or do you think it's a strength, your forehand return and serve?
But there I feel like I shorten up the swing.
Okay,
there.
but see, that's your answer. So when you have a longer backswing, it's never really an issue to shorten it up when you need to. You can do that. You can definitely shorten your prep phase depending on what type of ball you're getting.
Okay.
Now the big question is, should you have a short prep and let's say more ATP style on all your forehands? It doesn't hurt to try it out. You can see if it feels good to you. And so what happens with a lot of players is even though they try really hard to change their style and let's call it BATP, it's almost impossible to change because when they play without thought, the muscle memory kicks in, the genetics kicks in, the instinct kicks in, and the forehand comes naturally back to the old way.
Yeah.
So you might be making some like cosmetic changes to your forehand where you might be changing the way the racket goes back, where you're more cognizant of that, but then once the forehand accelerates fast, it goes right back to the old way.
Yeah, that's
So just
true.
know that that happens very often.
Okay.
So, like I said, I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with your forehand. There's some situations where it's missing a little bit, but generally it's very consistent. I will say though, I do think that you have some potential for power still there. There's some potential for more aggressive forehands, for more body involvement, and to be able to unload on the ball a little bit more. See, one thing with your forehand that I don't really see is that you have a preparation where your upper body is down, which is good, I like that. But sometimes, unfortunately, you kind of remain in this position. You don't really straighten violently enough. You don't have a lot of vertical lift, and you don't get airborne that often on the forehand. You know, so I would like you to we maybe work on getting a little bit more lift and utilizing the body in that way.
Okay.
Okay, but first let's check the backhand. Emma, I want you to take it down the line, okay? And what I like you to focus on is getting the right elbow a little bit higher on your finish.
So the take back and everything?
Everything's the same, just go a little bit higher there, yeah. Just when you finish, both elbows needs to be up, okay? Come down the line. There you go. Come back to the middle and again. Good. Again. Good. Again. Better. Come again. How's that feel? Is it okay?
Yeah, different.
Good.
I'm not missing in the net.
And again, come. Lift it up. Good. And I'll go cross court. Good. Again, back to the middle and come. Bad bounce. Come again, middle and come. Come. Go again. Go again. Come on. Okay, again. Okay, let's try one more thing. Go ahead and go in your setup. Go in your go right here. Go right here. Go set up on your backhand. Can you try to turn your shoulders a little bit more like this? Like turn your shoulder blade towards the incoming ball. So instead of going here, try to turn a little bit more. Like a little bit extra turn. More turn than you normally would. So that when you're looking at the ball, you have your chin over your right shoulder. You're looking like, look, like this. Instead of this, you go more like this. You get a little bit more turn.
Okay.
So you feel a stretch in your shoulder blades.
Okay.
So we load the body a little bit more aggressive as well, okay? Good. Again, load aggressive. Okay, you gotta look too close there. Come again. Good, and then finish up higher. Come on. Good. It's okay to lift the body, Emma. It's okay to lift up. Good. Again. Good. And again, come on. And go cross court. Okay, that was very left arm dominant. Come on, both arms. Maybe the best backhand you hit today. You hear that one?
Yeah, I heard it.
Both ends. You need to turn a little more so we get a little bit more rotation, and then we need to finish a little bit cleaner. Also, you're so used to like kind of staying down, which is okay when the ball is really low, but when balls are a little bit higher on you, don't be afraid to just lift here.
Okay.
Lift. You know, you don't need to stay down. You need to accommodate the swing path. The racket's going up,
Okay.
have your body go up too. Again, the only caveat is like on a low ball, of course, it's going to be tough to do that. So on a low ball, you stay low. On anything else, it's okay for you to lift up.
I've just heard a lot in my career.
Yeah.
Get low, stay low. And I feel like I've been just like, and I'm pretty tall,
Yeah.
you know, and I feel like it's just so, and I'm like trying to stay low, and I'm scared to, remember like this coach would always tell me
Yeah.
like not to go up because I'm popping up. So then I'm
Okay.
like, you know,
Emma.
it's this habit that you have from,
It's not a mistake to stay low in the correct circumstance. Let's say you play somebody who's rifling balls at your feet super deep and flat. You got to stay low.
yeah.
Okay? But what if you play somebody that plays with a little bit more spin and the ball's higher? Why would you stay low there?
Yeah.
Because you want to be taking the ball a little bit higher. So it's counterintuitive to stay low on those shots.
Yeah.
Now remember that the super high elite level, they're airborne on most of their shots, right?
Yeah.
They're in the air.
Yeah.
So they're not hot. They're staying low?
No.
Right, and that applies to the women as well. Some, like let's say like a Kerber or a Raducanu, when they play very close to the baseline, and when they're taking balls very early, they will be lower. So again, the circumstance is important to understand. It's not wrong to do that under the right circumstance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But just like you'll feel it when it's the right time to stay low. You'll feel it's very natural. When the ball comes hard and deep, you're gonna just go be like this,
Yeah.
you know? And when the ball comes a little bit higher with time, you go like, bam, right here, this way. Let's do one more round. Load. Come again, Emma. Come. Aggressive setup. So I want you to, when you go through your hitting, next week, I want you to kind of think about this a little bit.
Okay.
Like set up stronger,
Turn.
turn more, finish a little bit different, and
Don't be scared to up.
don't be scared to, like, you don't always have to stay low. You know, be accommodate the swing path. Okay, so another thing I noticed was that your slice sometimes, like when I give you like a little shank and you come in and you're slicing, I feel like the slice, even though you might not use it that much, maybe the technique can be a little bit better. So let me see a few slices here. Okay, go down the line. One more time. Come slice. I would like you to start higher and finish a little bit higher. So when
Okay.
you take your racket back, hold the racket. Your hand at the level of your shoulder here.
Okay.
Your hand is like down here.
Okay.
Okay, so when you start higher and you go down on the ball, you'll get more underspin.
Okay.
At the same time, on this side, you bring it a little bit higher.
Okay.
So it should look like this, look. You go here, this, here, and then on this side, like this. So just when you set up, just raise your hand. Raise your hand up a little bit.
Like that.
Yeah, and you can take it back. Don't have to change anything regarding your take back. Come on, get your hand up a little bit higher, Emma. Up, 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 up. Come again. Bend in the legs more. You're bending with the upper body too much. I want you to go a little bit more here on the slice, not so much here, okay?
Yeah.
Bend more from the legs.
Oh.
The slice is lifting too much. Come on, take it a little bit later. That's better. Straighten the arm earlier. There's too much of this here. Here, hold on. Here, go. You're going higher. Hold the racket. Hold. He wants you to straighten prior to the contact here. Don't straighten in here.
Okay.
Straighten prior and then go. So the arm goes straight here like this. Watch me. This. Come in here, straighten, and then go like this. You straighten a little bit early because you're slicing like this almost with the forearm. Okay, so you can start bent but straighten prior to the contact.
Better?
Best slice you hit so far. Do it again. Best slice you hit so far. Come again.
Oh yeah, bad bounce.
Come again. One more time. Come. Okay, one more. Go down the line.
I didn't
One more
go
time.
for
Bend
enough.
from your legs. Come on.
Sooner.
Bend from your legs, Emma. Legs, legs, legs. Okay.
I feel like when I do it and when I don't. You know,
does
like
it-
when I start swinging up sooner. Because like you said, I would just do it here.
Listen, I know that you don't slice, but think of all the scenarios where you slicing because you have to.
Yeah.
So that's you have to possess all the shots. You have to have a full repertoire, even though you might not use a shot that much.
Yeah.
Okay, good first session.
Yeah.
Next time I see you, we're gonna do forehand and serve. Okay.
Okay.